Discipline with money is the foundation of wealth because without control, no amount of income will ever be enough. I have met people who earn little and still manage to save, invest, and build a future. And I have met people who earn fortunes and still live paycheck to paycheck. The difference is not in the size of the income, but in the size of the discipline. Wealth is not built by chance, it is built by choice. Every coin you spend is a decision about your future. And if you cannot command $1, you will never be trusted with 1,000. Too many people believe that when they make more, they will finally start saving. But that is a false hope. If you don't save when you earn a little, you won't save when you earn a lot. The habits you create at the bottom will follow you to the top. If you spend everything now, the world will give you more to spend, not more to keep. Discipline means saying no to impulses, no to unnecessary purchases, no to the constant pull of comfort today that robs you of freedom tomorrow. A person without financial discipline may enjoy pleasures in the moment, but they are quietly trading away their independence. Think of money like seeds. If you eat them all, you will always be hungry tomorrow. If you plant some, water them, and wait, soon you will have a harvest that feeds you again and again. Discipline is the act of planting seeds instead of consuming them all at once. It is the decision to pay yourself first, even if it is just a small percentage. Some say, but I cannot save, I don't earn enough. And I reply, if you cannot save $1 out of 10, what makes you think you'll save 100 out of 1,000? The act of saving is not about the amount, it is about the habit. Even small savings build character, and character attracts wealth. Discipline also means creating a plan without a plan. Money disappears. It slips away into things you barely remember buying. A plan is the fence that keeps your wealth from wandering off. A plan tells your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Budgeting is not punishment. It is freedom. It is freedom from stress, freedom from fear, freedom from the endless cycle of living for the next paycheck. Those who discipline themselves with a budget may not always live in luxury, but they always live with peace of mind. And peace of mind is part of wealth. Discipline is also the foundation of investing. Before you can put money to work, you must have money that is not already working against you. Too many people are chained to debt because they never learn discipline with spending. Debt steals from your future to pay for your present. It is difficult to build wealth while carrying that burden. Discipline means living below your means, avoiding unnecessary debt, and making choices today that give you options tomorrow. Wealth is never about impressing people with things you cannot afford. It is about impressing yourself with the freedom you create through wise choices. And discipline extends beyond just saving. It is also about self-control in the face of opportunities that look too good to be true. Greed and impatience are the enemies of wealth. A disciplined mind does not chase every scheme. It studies, it waits, and it chooses carefully. True wealth is not made overnight. It is built brick by brick, dollar by dollar, choice by choice. That is why discipline is the foundation. Because without patience and consistency, no wealth will last. Ultimately, discipline with money is not about restriction. It is about empowerment. It is about creating a future where money serves you, not one where you are enslaved to it. When you have discipline, you don't panic when emergencies come. You don't live in fear of bills or changes in the economy. You don't feel trapped in a job you hate just to pay the rent. Discipline gives you the freedom to choose, the freedom to walk away, the freedom to design the life you want. That freedom is worth far more than the temporary comfort of careless spending. So remember, financial freedom begins not with income, but with discipline. It begins with a decision to take control of what you already have and use it wisely. It begins with the courage to sacrifice a little now to enjoy much more later. And it begins with the understanding that discipline is not punishment. It is the foundation on which every dream of wealth is built. Without discipline, wealth slips away. With discipline, even the smallest income can grow into abundance. Choose discipline today, and tomorrow will reward you with freedom. If you truly want to change your financial future, don't just ask for more money. Ask yourself how you can bring more value to the marketplace. Income rarely exceeds personal development. You see, the marketplace is like a mirror, It reflects back to you the level of value you bring. If you're frustrated by your paycheck, don't get angry at the company, don't get angry at the government, and don't get angry at the economy. Instead, take a look within. The secret to wealth and opportunity is not out there somewhere. It's within your own ability to grow, to develop, and to become more than you were yesterday. When I first learned this truth, it struck me deeply. I realized that for things to change for me, I had to change. For things to get better, I had to get better. That simple but profound shift in thinking became the turning point in my life. Most people hope their boss gets better. They hope their company gets better. They hope the system gets better. But hoping doesn't create income. What creates income is becoming valuable, indispensable, and rare in a world full of ordinary. Now, how do you become more valuable? The first step is knowledge. Read books, attend seminars, listen to mentors, and feed your mind with wisdom that stretches your thinking. Ignorance is costly. It keeps opportunities hidden from you. But when you learn, you see doors that others don't even notice. You begin to connect dots that most people overlook. Remember, this formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. Don't stop learning when school ends. The real school begins when you take responsibility for your own growth. The second step is skill. Knowledge without skill is like having tools you never use. Skill is applied knowledge. It's practice. It's the refinement of your craft. If you are in sales, sharpen your persuasion and listening. If you are in management, refine your leadership and communication. If you are in business, master negotiation strategy and customer service. The more skillful you become, the more valuable you are, and the more the marketplace will reward you. A person who can do what few others can do will always be in demand. The third step is character. Value is not only about what you can do, but about who you are while doing it. Trust, reliability, and integrity are currencies more powerful than money. If people trust you, they will buy from you, hire you, promote you, and invest in you. If they can't trust you, your skills won't save you. Your reputation can open doors faster than talent, and it can close doors quicker than failure. Build a reputation for honesty, consistency, and hard work, and you will stand out in any crowd. Another way to increase your value is to solve bigger problems. Small problems pay small money, big problems pay big money. If you can solve a problem that affects 100 people, you'll be rewarded at one level. If you solve a problem that affects 1 million people, you'll be rewarded at another. Don't run from problems, run toward them. Each challenge is an invitation to grow, and the size of the reward is directly related to the size of the problem you're willing to tackle. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to grow. You've probably heard it said that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you want to elevate your value, spend time with people who think bigger, dream bigger, and achieve bigger. Their influence will stretch you beyond your comfort zone. If you stay only with people who accept mediocrity, you will begin to think mediocrity is normal. But when you spend time with achievers, their standards become your standards and your own value begins to rise. Lastly, remember that increasing your value is not a one-time event. It is a lifelong pursuit. Success is not something you pursue. It is something you attract by becoming an attractive person, by developing yourself into someone the marketplace cannot ignore. Your income is a direct reflection of your personal value. So the question is never, what am I getting paid? The real question is, what am I becoming? Because as you become more, you will attract more. So decide today to invest in yourself. Buy that book, take that class, practice that skill, build that character, and solve that problem. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job, because your job will make you a living, but working on yourself will make you a fortune. When you increase your personal value, your income cannot help but increase. And the best part is, you don't just earn more money. You become more capable, more confident, and more fulfilled. That is the true reward of growth. If there is one lesson the wealthy understand that the average person overlooks, it is this: you cannot build true financial freedom on just one stream of income. Relying on a single paycheck, a single client, or a single business is like putting all your weight on a fragile branch. It may hold for a season, but eventually the storms of life will come. Job loss, economic downturns, market shifts, unexpected expenses. These things are not exceptions, they are realities. And when they arrive, one source of income can vanish in a moment, leaving you vulnerable. That is why security is never found in having one stream of income, but in building many. Think of income like water. If you depend on one river to feed your land, what happens in a drought? Your crops die, and with them your security. But if you build canals that bring water from different rivers, if you dig wells, if you harvest the rain, then even when one source dries up, you are sustained by the others. The wealthy do not worry about droughts because they have learned to diversify their streams. Multiple incomes mean multiple protections. Now, some people will say, "But Jim, I can hardly manage one income. How can I build many?" And here is the secret: you start small, but you start now. Your first stream may be your job. That's your foundation. But from that, you begin to carve out another. Maybe it's a small investment. Maybe it's a side business. Maybe it's developing a skill you can trade in the marketplace. The goal is not to create another river overnight, but to start with a trickle that grows. Every fortune began as a seed. Every great river begins as a stream. The principle is simple. Let your money work for you even while you sleep. Imagine the comfort of knowing that while you rest, your investments are growing. Your rental property is earning. Your business is selling. Multiple streams of income are like employees you don't have to supervise. They never complain. They never take sick leave, and they never ask for a raise. They simply work day and night, multiplying what you already have. But don't misunderstand me. This is not about luck. It is about wisdom, discipline, and education. Too many people chase quick money and fall into traps. A new scheme, a shiny opportunity, a fast promise of wealth, these are illusions. The wise know that before you plant in a field, you study the soil. Before you invest in a business, you learn its rhythms. Before you buy property, you understand the market. Financial education is not optional. It is the very guardrail that keeps you safe as you build. And once you begin, the compounding effect is powerful. Imagine you have 3 streams: your job, a small online business, and a modest investment. Over time, that investment grows, your business expands, and suddenly, you are no longer trapped by the limits of one paycheck. If your job disappears, your other streams keep you afloat. If your business slows, your investments still move forward. That is what I call true security, not freedom from challenges, but protection from being crushed by them. Think about it. A person can work for years, accumulate wealth, and yet live in a constant state of emptiness because they never ask the bigger question: what is this for? You see, without contribution, money becomes stale. It becomes a closed system, like water in a jar that's sealed tight. Over time, that water loses its freshness. But when money circulates, when it moves beyond your needs, beyond your comforts, and into the service of others, it gains new life. It refreshes you, it refreshes others, and it builds something that no bank balance alone can buy: fulfillment. Contribution does not mean giving away everything. It doesn't mean sacrificing your family's needs or ignoring your responsibilities. It means understanding that a portion of all you earn can be set aside for a greater purpose. Jim Rohn used to say, "Giving starts the receiving process." And he was right. When you give, you open the door to a flow of abundance that goes far beyond financial gain. You set in motion a principle as old as life itself, the principle of sowing and reaping. If you sow generously, you reap generously, not always in money, but in relationships, in joy, in purpose, and in peace of mind. Now, contribution comes in many forms. For some, it is charity, helping those who cannot help themselves. For others, it is mentorship, sharing the wisdom and lessons you've gained from your own journey so that someone else can take fewer wrong turns. For many, it is creating opportunities, businesses that provide jobs, projects that inspire communities, or investments that bring growth. Contribution is not limited to writing checks. It is about living in a way that says, "I will not hoard what I have. I will circulate it. I will let it do some good beyond my own comfort." You may wonder, but why should I give when I've worked so hard to earn it? That's a fair question. The answer is simple: because contribution transforms you. Yes, it helps others, But it also helps you become a person of depth. Money can buy things, but contribution builds character. And when you build character, you enjoy your wealth at a deeper level. The vacation is sweeter, the house feels warmer, and even the smallest luxuries carry greater joy because you know your success has a ripple effect. There is also a practical side to this. People who live only for themselves often end up isolated, even when wealthy. Their money builds walls, not bridges. But those who contribute create connections. They gain allies, friends, and a reputation that money alone cannot purchase. Contribution creates goodwill, and goodwill is one of the most valuable assets you can possess. Opportunities flow toward those who are known as givers because people naturally want to support someone who supports others. So if you want financial freedom, start with contribution in mind. Don't wait until you are rich to give. Begin with what you have now. If all you can give is your time, give your time. If all you can share is your knowledge, share your knowledge. If you can give financially, do it with joy, no matter how small the amount. The habit of contribution is more important than the size of it because habits compound, and when contribution becomes a habit, it grows with your wealth. At the end of the day, financial freedom is not measured by how much you keep, but by how much good your money does while you live and even after you are gone. The houses, the cars, the trophies of wealth will fade, but the scholarships you funded, the hunger you fed, the employees you mentored, the causes you supported, those will live on. They will speak of you long after you're gone. That is true freedom. Not just the freedom to buy what you want, but the freedom to know your life counted for more than yourself. So remember, contribution is not the last step of financial freedom. It is the heart of it. Without it, wealth is shallow. With it, wealth becomes meaningful. And meaning, my friends, is what makes freedom real. Financial freedom is built daily, not overnight. Too many people look for shortcuts, the quick win, the lucky break, the magic investment that will change everything in a moment. But life doesn't work that way. Lasting wealth is not a lottery ticket. It is the result of steady discipline, wise decisions, and daily habits compounded over time. The truth is, success is never an event, it's a process. You don't wake up wealthy. You grow wealthy by the person you become and the principles you practice. Every day, choices are being made that either move you closer to financial freedom or farther away from it. When you choose to spend recklessly instead of saving consistently, you trade tomorrow's freedom for today's comfort. When you decide to invest in your mind, your skills, and your value, you set yourself on a path of long-term prosperity. You cannot plant seeds today and expect a harvest tomorrow, but if you plant daily and nurture those seeds, the harvest is inevitable. The building blocks of financial freedom are simple, but they require discipline. First, you must learn the art of managing money. It doesn't matter how much you earn. What matters is how you handle it. A person who earns little but saves consistently can surpass someone who earns a fortune but spends carelessly. You must develop the habit of setting something aside, no matter how small. Even a single dollar saved daily builds discipline, and discipline builds wealth. The second part of building wealth daily is increasing your value. Money is attracted to value, and the marketplace pays you for the results you produce. That means every book you read, every skill you sharpen, every mentor you listen to, every new idea you explore adds to your value. Over time, those daily investments compound just like money in the bank. One day, the opportunities you attract, the income you command, and the wealth you create will be the direct reflection of who you have become. Another daily choice is how you diversify your efforts. Relying on one stream of income is like trying to stand on one leg. It might work for a while, but it's unstable. Building financial freedom means developing multiple streams of income over time. That doesn't happen in a day, but each step counts. You might start with your job, then add a small side business, then put your savings into investments. Day by day, those small streams can grow into a river, and when one stream slows down, the others keep you standing strong. But financial freedom isn't just about saving or earning. It's about making money work for you. Every day is a chance to learn how investments grow. When you let your money sit, it loses value. But when you put it to work in assets that appreciate, you create a system where wealth produces more wealth. Still, wisdom must come before wealth. Too many people jump into opportunities they don't understand and end up broke. The wise build knowledge daily, so when the right opportunities appear, they are ready to take them. Now, there is a higher principle of financial freedom that many forget: contribution. The ultimate purpose of wealth is not accumulation, but circulation. Every day you have a choice: will money stop with you, or will it flow through you to impact others? True freedom is not about piling up riches, but using resources to create change. Giving makes money meaningful. Contribution brings joy, purpose, and fulfillment that money alone cannot deliver. And when you practice generosity daily, you discover that the more you give, the more life returns. Financial freedom is built daily in the quiet choices nobody sees. It is built when you choose to read instead of waste hours. It is built when you choose to save instead of overspend. It is built when you choose to learn instead of complain. It is built when you choose to give instead of only take. None of these choices make you rich in a day, but repeated over months and years, they transform your life. The tragedy is that most people underestimate the power of daily discipline. They want big change fast, but they ignore small change daily. Success doesn't come in one dramatic leap. It comes through small, consistent steps. Every dollar saved, every skill developed, every opportunity seized builds the foundation. The house of financial freedom is not built with one stone. It is built brick by brick, day after day. So remember, don't fall for the illusion of overnight success. Instead, embrace the process of daily progress. Commit yourself to discipline, growth, diversification, wise investment, and contribution. If you do these things each day, even in small ways, time will be your ally, and one day you'll wake up not just with money in the bank, but with freedom, security, and a legacy that lasts. Financial freedom is not a wish, not a chance, and not a miracle. It is a choice, built daily through the simple disciplines that anyone can practice. Start today, keep going tomorrow, and let time reward your faithfulness. That's the real secret. Freedom is built daily, not overnight.